And we should be live. Oh, let's test the audio. Richie, say something?
No, no. Hello.
Okay, okay, sounds good.
Okay, I will just refresh this until I see us, and then disseminate with the. Oh, they'll disseminate the URL. I see we have a very nice cherry blossom background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next
Big
time I
Alice
can make it
up.
move.
So is there just nothing at the top of the screen?
It's a moon. Look, you're
Yeah, but
under
are
the
you?
moon and I'm under the tree. It's artistic.
No, but I was thinking like, are you gonna put a like a like the chat up the? I don't know.
This was a very last second thing.
Okay, I see Doom Kitty, Salvador, Ryan, and Aki. Cool.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll pop out the
Hi,
chat.
welcome everyone.
I can see y'all.
How's it going?
Hello,
Hi,
Corey.
hi, Corey. So I'm trying to cut down on
Hello,
coffee.
Luna.
Hi,
Yeah.
Luna. I'm trying to cut down on coffee on the weekend. So this is
hmm
actually green tea.
So you've gone from I'm trying to quit coffee to I'm trying to cut down on coffee to I'm trying to cut down on coffee on the weekend. In the space of a week.
Thank you, Richie. Hi, Lensky. How's it
Hi,
going?
Lensky. Oh, cool. Ryan's about to get the platinum.
Bravo. Hi,
Hi,
Jeb.
Dad. Okay, we're getting a lot of people. I see Flying Fox 85. Sin is always evolving.
Yes. Because today
Yeah.
I'm wearing a white hoodie as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
the black
Yeah.
hoodie or the red Nuka-Cola hoodie. You're right. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, yeah. I have a slightly different hair clip than last time. Got a lot of good feedback on the hair clips, so.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good feedbacks on the Vaporwave top, which I didn't want to wear the same thing twice in a row, but I have got it behind me over there.
Oh, that's very cute.
Thank you.
I'm loving the hair clip. It's
Thank
really
you.
cute. It should be your signature
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It's my signature thing following the sunburn incident.
Yes.
So now I'm just going to wear this from now on. Thank you. Joshua just is talking about how I was on the Law Hunter and I cheated on you with another podcast.
How could you?
No, I know. So yeah, if anyone doesn't know what Joshua's talking about, there is a YouTube channel called The Law Hunter, just run by a friend of ours called Sean. And if you are curious, you can check it out. He has been watching and discussing the Elden Ring trailer every day for the last while. He's been very into tracking Elden Ring, so I was on it recently. People that we've had on have been on it, like Quesadiv has been on it. Yeah. So Illusory Wall's been on it, so
I'll post a link to their channel.
yeah, and
There you go.
they kind of he watches it every day, and sometimes he has a guest on, and they kind of range from 10 minutes to I think mine was 90 minutes because we just couldn't stop talking, so we hadn't talked for a really long time. But yeah, I know him from like way back in like the beginning of Bloodborne lore.
Dude Kitty's asking AMA and matching pajamas when?
Us matching pajamas?
Everyone.
Or everyone?
Everyone.
I feel. Does Redbubble do pajamas? I don't think they do, because I was thinking if we could have AMA matching a Brutus pajamas.
Oh my god, yes. A Brutus onesies! I saw this cute thing. It's a Pikachu onesie, and the hood is like a little Pikachu face with ears.
Yeah. Daniel's asking if I've transitioned. So the answer is like if I had transitioned, my name wouldn't be Richard. So if Richard doesn't show up one day, that might be a clue. But Richard is still here. a bit. It's the beauty of live, is that you can't edit that out. But it's very early, so people haven't arrived yet. Hello, Ebby Fly.
Hello. Oh, I'm editing another podcast.
Is this the
Radiance one.
Yeah, with Al Hazred.
So let's see. I already edited.
Yeah, it's just going to be the weekly ritual of you mentioning everything you've edited this week, and then you haven't.
No. Just not everything. Not everything.
Not so much.
Not everything, just a slight example, because I've been trying to. This is why we're not releasing like one podcast a day anymore, because I'm putting more effort into the visual side. Because audio side takes up a certain effort, and then you do the visual side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we'll record less podcasts, but I'll put in more visuals and references and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just the Hollow Knight podcasts, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm editing the 5th one in 5 weeks, not counting the other ones that I'm releasing that also have visuals. How many Bloodborne Up Closes did you make this week?
I feel like you don't need to apologize for saying we're not putting out one episode a day anymore. I'm defending you. I'm saying you do not need to apologize for, we're not putting out one episode every 1 or 2 days like we used to. When the other fucking Souls channels would like you to do one thing like a month, maybe. But I think the only person doing things every day is it's Lore Hunter and the other guy who watches the Elden Ring trailer every day and has 40,000 subscribers.
And just for reference, the last Bloodborne Up Close, Bloodborne Up Close 3, was a month ago. So did you edit it?
No, Sin, I think it's probably more than a month ago because YouTube just counts months, so it'll take over to 2 months pretty soon. Yeah.
It's Sin Appreciation Minute, everybody. Let's take a minute to appreciate Sin.
I love you, Sin.
Thank you, chat.
Can I defend myself briefly?
Go ahead.
I had to play to the end of Hollow Knight and record it all for you to get the footage for those podcasts. That's what I'm not
even using that footage. I have my own system.
Then why? I sent you like 20 gigabytes of Hollow Knight footage.
Yeah, but it's disconnected footage, and it's like, actually, I'll take it back. I used some of it for a previous podcast. Thank you for that. That was useful. This one I used other footage and used reference images, because your footage is just 20 hours of Radiance, and we're not talking about Radiance with Dahlia, but we're talking about the Dreamers. What am I gonna do with 20 hours of Radiance if we're talking about the Dreamers? Do I dress the Radiance up? Do I go like, okay, I'll put a little coat on you, you'll be Hera, and then I'll put a little telescope on you, you'll be Lurian, and I'll put a book in your head now. Yeah, hold a book for me, Radiance. No, you Monomon. No, it doesn't work. But I will be able to use it for the podcast I'm editing now, because it's all about the Radiance. That's what I'll call it! All about the Radiance, because we had an all about the Moon Presence, and we'll be all about the Radiance. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah, but, right. It's like, this isn't actually all about the Moon Presence.
Okay, this was a little... Because, I don't know if anybody noticed, but as our podcast progressed, they went through just me asking Richie questions type deal, to us developing our friendship and rapport, so they're a mess, and now we're back to like, okay, something that's a mess but a little more coherent, like the outlines.
Yeah.
So the newer Moon Presence one, there are jokes, but not that much, and it's mostly outlined and coherent, and somebody was really mad about it. Because they were like, that's too silly. With a title like this, you shouldn't be making jokes in the podcast.
I feel like this is another still that we need for the gallery.
Oh no! I don't know, and I was like, I mean, I'm sorry, sir, but like also it's like one of the least... The joke we'd had was like, oh, what is 5 meters in the manual? I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. We were talking about heights today in one of the Discords I'm in. Because someone I know who I'm friends with called Blue, who's not been on the podcast or anything, she doesn't talk much. She was doing editing. She was playing around with the model files, and apparently, like, according to the internal scale, the our player character is canonically 5'5".
Okay.
Yeah, and Maria is 6'5", and Gurman is 7 feet.
They're very tall.
And then I found this picture of, like, 6'5" woman with her 5'5" friend, and I was like, it's us and Maria.
Oh my god, yeah! Oh.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, also Gascoigne's 30.
You keep bringing it up, and I think he lied on his ID to get the role.
Look, in, like, less than 2 months,
Yeah.
I will be 7 years older than Gascoigne.
I'll be 6 years older than Gascoigne. Oh.
Also,
But
that
wait a
means
minute.
Viola
No,
is
no.
canonic.
Richie, sorry, before I forget my train of thought, and we'll go back to yours. But Bloodborne has been out for like 6 years.
Oh, so he's got, yeah, so...
He's our age now.
I'm only actually 1 year older than Gascoigne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Sorry, you were saying Viola is?
This also means that because Viola uses the doll's model, Viola is canonically 6'5".
So cute.
Oh, Eleanor, according to From's internal documentation, so this is canon, this is on the thing that they wrote, Gascoigne is 30 years old.
In 2015.
Okay, so he's 36 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Galaxy Knight, we have not been here long. We're just waiting for people to arrive while we babble about
there's
nothing.
like over 30 people here, so I think, I mean, 40.
Yeah.
Alright,
All
so,
right. That's good.
basically how this works, this is an AMA about Bloodborne and stuff. Normally, I put a post on Patreon and asking patrons, like, oh, what questions do you have? That's like a little benefit, but I forgot this week. Sorry, patrons.
You had a very busy week. We almost didn't do this because you were so exhausted.
Yeah, and I'm working tomorrow, actually, so...
Yeah.
So, that means we're just gonna take questions from chat. So if you have any questions either about Bloodborne or Souls or any games or anything like whatever.
Pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Like, people come here to ask questions about those games. You can ask anything else I don't know if you think we know. You could ask about Katekyo Hitman Reborn if you want to.
Yeah. Season 1, because no spoilers for it.
Yeah. Just so Sin has something to say, because I don't have anything to say.
My Katekyo Hitman Reborn re-edit project is working out really well. I am on episode 29 of the 1.5 edit. That means after I'm done with this, technically I could release it, but I want to do like more, like the first half has like zooms and stuff, and I want to try to get them done for the second half as well.
Yeah, people mentioning, like, in Japanese media that's aimed at kids, when you hit 30, you're basically ancient. And, like, it reminds you, there's a PlayStation 1 really weird fighting game called Evil Zone, where there's a character who's 36, and everyone calls him Old Man and Granddad.
Granddad.
And he talks about how he's, like, past it all, and you look at the entry and it's like, Gally is a middle-aged man. And I'm like... She's younger than I am.
But it makes sense, because when you're a kid, everyone who's 20 and older seems ancient.
Yeah. Oh, no, when you're, like, I was talking to Dahlia about this, actually. There's a point where, like, people over 30 seem infeasibly ancient.
Yeah.
And then you hit 30 and it's like, oh, it's the same.
Where is my wisdom and accumulated wealth?
No, but you're like, I don't even look that, like, I don't seem like I'm old. And then it's like, alright, I guess. And now as we're, like, heading to 40, it's like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, for me, my 20s were not, like, the happiest of times. And as like getting closer to my 30s is when my life
Mm-hmm.
became like better.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm like, I'm good. I don't.
yeah,
Let's move forward to
yeah.
better,
Do you want to
happier
see? Do you want to
days.
see me in my 20s?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I think you know what's coming.
Yes, I do. Oh,
This is still remarkably legally acceptable as photographic ID of me. So we'll just leave that there. I had to use that at the bank the other day to prove who I was.
how'd that go?
They bought it. Yeah, people think I look like Jack Black.
Oh, well, that's a compliment. He's famous.
Yeah, but so are a lot of people that look like Jack Black aren't famous. It's like me.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen that movie with Jack Black, with the he's very shallow, but he meets a
Shallow
girl.
Hal.
Yes, yeah, Shallow
Yeah,
Hal.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have, yes.
yeah. It's very cute. It's very cute.
Hmm. Hmm. All right, let's look at the chat for questions.
Okay, come on,
Okay.
chat. Hi, Lady Farron. Been a while. How you doing?
Bye. What happens to Priscilla in Dark Souls 3? Sin?
Okay, she's dead, and they put the effigy thing at the end with the snake tail or whatever as
Hmm.
a reminder of her. And she
Yeah.
had two kids. One of them was a painter, and the other one was Yorshka.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. She died. Could have been just like, she hit 30. Or or maybe she got killed. Like maybe somebody went into the painting with like bad intentions. Because Father
Hmm.
Ariandel and what's her name?
Okay,
Frida.
Jacob wants to know how she died, Sin. How did she
Okay,
die?
well, like I said, either old age or because there's something sketchy going on with Father Ariandel and Frida. This whole situation, maybe they had
How
involvement.
so?
Because they seem to be obsessed with keeping the painting alive. So maybe Priscilla was like, "Nah, we gotta burn this down, guys," and they were like, "No, we're keeping it alive." And there was like
Do
disagreement,
you
and they
think do you
poisoned her.
think Priscilla would want to burn the painting down? Because
Yeah,
she's the one who's like,
yeah,
this land is peaceful, its inhabitants kind.
because she has a kid who was painting a new painting. So it's like, listen, kid paints new painting. All the people who are not rotting from the inside, I guess, go there.
Okay.
Or maybe you know what? Maybe when the rot just started, everybody could have migrated to the new painting. But now
Well,
it's too late because everybody's infected.
how many times have you done Ashes of Ariandel?
A couple.
Just the once.
No, I
You
did it
know,
a couple
like,
times.
what do you make of Priscilla's boss room still being there?
But it's like, isn't it like all like you can't even get to it or can
You
hardly
can
get
get,
to it
well, no, because
from a branch?
it's above. I'm drawing this from memory. It's above where the Grave
Yeah.
Tender Great Wolf fight is.
Hmm.
And you go there, and there is a corpse there that mentions like a pyromancer who was like. It says he lost his hideous spouse, which
Yeah.
to me reads like a. It reads like a literal translation of something that had a different
That.
connotation.
Yeah.
Like, because like hideous, its spouse is weird. It may have meant like twisted or strange or something,
Or very
referring to
tall.
very tall, has a tail.
It's yeah. It's possible that like yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Pyro NPC invades you there. Thank you. I have not played Dark Souls 3 since Sin made me play it to look at something for our first podcast.
Oh yeah. I don't remember.
That's true because you said you need to look at the statue of the statue
Oh
in Loth
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Irithyll. And that was the first time I'd played Dark.
Wow.
That was late 2017, and it was the first time I'd played Dark Souls 3 since Ring City. So I installed it and went there and. Oh no! The last time I played Dark Souls 3 was with Goldtooth because we did like a stream thing, but I don't think it's up anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the chat now.
The painting of
Thank you.
Berenice and Ariandel are the same paintings? Yeah, because it was restored and called by the other name.
They sort of paint the painting again, which changes what's in it. So that's why like Priscilla's boss room is there, and that's why like there's still crow people in there because the crow people were like there in the first one and they've like changed over time. Or... Yeah. In the ending where, I think you mean Gurman, where Gurman frees us, why is killing Wetness considered fulfillment of the contract? This is really confusing, because, like, what happens is, like, killing Murgo is part of the ritual that is summoning and keeping the Red Moon there. So I think the idea is that by defeating Murgo and the Wet Nurse, that sort of ends the ritual, and because the ritual's ended, it's like, okay, the hunt is now over, because that was sort of the thing that was keeping the night going, so you've, like, dispelled the night, and that's the end. I don't think the Moon Presence gives a shit about wanting... Well, the Moon Presence doesn't really get anything out of it, and the Moon Presence won't even show up unless you defeat Gurman, so... I think it's because it says, like, halt the spreading scourge of beasts. And the scourge is caused, like, when we go there, like, what the main thing that's driving us is the Red Moon. And calming Murgo and ending the Mensis ritual is what makes the moon go away. So I think it's just that. Do you have anything to add, Sen?
I was replying to a question. Somebody asked if we think that Demon Souls and like Bloodborne comes after Demon Souls or whatever, and I was saying how we talked about this a lot on the podcast, and we actually made an episode of parallels between Bloodborne and Demon Souls. And
you know who else? You know who else thinks Bloodborne comes after Demon Souls?
Is it me? Do I think Bloodborne?
No, it's From Software thinks Bloodborne comes after Demon Souls.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Richie.
Yeah. Basically, like the situation on the whole is it Demon Souls 2. Is it Demon Souls 2? Like we've covered this a few times, but I'll just lay it out now. When the game was pitched and when it was started, it was supposed to be like the same world as Demon Souls. So it's a continuation of Demon Souls. And it's meant to be like, this is Boletaria, but it's really far in the future. That's why you have like bits of Demon Souls assets are showing up. You've got like the fluted set, you've got characters saying Umbasa, you've got like the coastline where you meet the old one, that's back in there. And what happened was, like, over time, that sort of got pushed a little bit off to the side, and it's not explicit anymore. I don't know if they were ever going to make it explicit in the game. I think it was just going to sit there. I don't think there was ever going to be a character who's like, by Jove, it's Boletaria, or something like that. And I don't think it was ever, like, actually literally going to be called or marketed as Demon Souls 2. Because it was designed from the beginning to not play like Demon Souls. It was always meant to be like really fast, like shields weren't going to be a big deal, magic wasn't going to be a big deal, it was going to be like with like the regain system and you're fighting beasts and you're not wearing armor and stuff, that was always in there. So it wouldn't have like... Nothing I've seen suggests they were actually ever going to call it Demon Souls 2, but it was supposed to be like, hey, same world, but we've moved on. Which is why when we talk about it, I talk about it in terms of Drakengard and Nier. Where, like, the Nier games are canon to Drakengard, they follow Drakengard, one of the endings of Drakengard leads into Nier, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's there if you are into both of them. It's a nice little connection, but you don't actually need to have played Drakengard to understand what's going on in Nier. You don't even need to have played Nier to understand what's going on in Nier Automata, really. But there we go.
Thank you.
Would Demon Souls patches theoretically be the same patches in Bloodborne? I don't know, because patches is also in Dark Souls and Armored Core, so I think
It's more
there's
like
just...
a mascot thing, like
If you've been following WandaVision, you could say that patches is a Nexus entity. I haven't been following WandaVision, I just know that's a thing. It's just a Scarlet Witch thing from the comics that I think people are bringing up now.
hmm. I've been following WandaVision. It's very good.
I have not watched WandaVision,
It's very
ever.
touching. It's
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because sometimes like series are not as good as the
hmm
movies, and the Avengers movies are perfect except for the
Yeah.
Hulk. So I was like, oh, I hope they
hmm
don't mess it up,
hmm
and they didn't. It's like it feels just like a really long movie, like but like good
Right.
long, like Lord of the Rings good long, not like
Yeah.
I don't know, not like just long, you know. No spoilers. Okay. One Division podcast one. I don't. Does there need to be one? It's pretty
I
self-explanatory.
I feel like 50% of YouTube currently is WandaVision
Oh,
discussions.
okay. So we'll do it in like 5 years.
We'll do a WandaVision House of M hidden Easter eggs you missed theory real comparison.
You know, you're reminding me of something. I saw The Shining again a couple of days ago.
I know, because you were messaging me saying, why do people like this, basically.
Like I think. Oh my God, Richie. I think the acting was decent most of
hmm
the time. I
Yeah.
liked the colors. I like that they live in this giant, beautiful hotel with a beautiful view and like unlimited food.
hmm
Um, but I noticed a little thing about the movie that I don't think a lot of people noticed. And
I really liked the hotel, but there was one thing that was a little off.
I
I
think,
don't know if you noticed, but a whole lot of blood gushed out of an elevator. And I do not appreciate that, sir.
I think I cracked the real meaning behind The Shining. I think everybody missed it. We're gonna have a definitive
Okay,
Shining podcast
we're
where
gonna we're gonna have to amend Room 238. Have you seen that?
it's on my list. It's on my list. I
Okay,
haven't seen
good,
it
good.
yet.
We need to see
Okay,
that. It
okay.
makes us look normal.
Okay.
hmm
So get ready, Richie. I'm gonna blow your
Okay,
mind.
okay, I'm ready. I'm focused.
Are there any other questions? Sorry, we're a little tired, a little spaced
I'm
out. I'm
I'm
kind of
fine.
staring at. Oh, you fine? Okay, I'm just
I'm
staring at
fine.
the chat, but no words are registering with my brain.
Okay, I have a question.
Mhm.
This is from Rose. Do any of you relate the love Miyazaki has to Bloodborne despite its development issues being incomplete and straying for the... Oh, well, basically, yeah. Do we relate to the way Miyazaki loves Bloodborne despite everything that went wrong in the development? And I don't think really much went wrong in the
Well,
development.
I think in
I
the
mean,
end.
it
Oh, go
had a
ahead.
rocky development, but like compared to Dark Souls 3, it was like
Like
nothing.
the game
It
is
kept...
fine. It's just like if you play it
Yeah,
once and you don't, and you're like, oh, I think the lore is this, and then like you only notice like I think real inconsistencies when you start being us. Like when
I
you
don't even think there are that many
no, but
inconsistencies.
when you're just like, oh, there's three Liguriae, and like, oh, it doesn't make sense that this Sumerian looking dude is part of the executioners who are
Yeah,
part of the
yeah,
church and
yeah,
this, but then
yeah,
3 hours before the final,
yeah,
before they shipped me the game, they're like, let's change. Yeah, but like, if you
yeah,
just accept certain things, like, oh, Ligarius just looks like that, and he's the executioner,
yeah.
executioners are just like, it's fine, you know. So I don't think there is much.
Bloodborne does feel like very, very personal in a
Mhm.
way that the other ones don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's because you can tell that like you can tell that this is like stuff Miyazaki is obsessed with, and that's why he's crammed it all in and come up with this way to connect it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like we talk a lot about like this is why I go so much into it in terms of like what it means with regard to like different theorists and ideas and stuff, because it's basically like I he sort of just seems to have written down all of his hang-ups and made them into a game.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it like it sort of it maintains, I think, interest from people because he's not being didactic about it. He just sort of like lets things sit there, and he's not trying to like actually explain his like here's what everything means and here's what you're supposed to take from it. He just has these are my obsessions, and I this is just how I feel, and they're just laid out there.
Mm-hmm.
Which it leads to a lot of like, I mean, we're sort of insulated from it because we're not in the creative community per se, but I know a lot of people who like they have gotten so much hatred for basically like looking at things in a certain way that's not it's not wrong at all. In the, just like this is just like my take on Miyazaki's weird obsessions,
Yeah.
and being told like no, that's wrong. You shouldn't do it that way, and it's like, well, I don't think the game actually really posits like a right and a wrong in a lot of the situations. It's just there.
I think, like, honestly, from the game, you can. I guess there are certain things where it seems like this is what the game is trying to convey. But at the
Yeah,
same time, like, you can come up. Ludwig killed Maria is the hill I will die on. Who
yeah,
cares? It's a game. It's my theory.
yeah,
Who cares?
yeah. So Rose, who asked that question, has some other
Mm-hmm.
stuff in the chat, and like I think to me like this is another thing that I've brought up, but the reason that like despite all the rewrites and everything, and like Sin is saying that Sin's not exaggerating when she says stuff was rewritten like a couple of days before the retail build, because that's actually true, because I've seen those builds that are dated a couple of days before retail. There's different stuff in them. Is because like what was moved around was the minutia. It was like this character has one function, now they have two functions, or here's two characters that had different functions, now they're combined into one character with one function. Here, like, Old Yarnum was mandatory, now it's not. Canehurst was in this location, now it's in this location. Lagarius was this person, now he's that person. But actually, when you sort of step back, it's always been the same stuff thematically. It's always been about the same things, and it's always been articulating them in basically the same way. So you can kind of gut it and move it around, and you maintain the essence of it, which is, I think, different to what happened with like Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3, where they effectively just redid the story. And like it sort of became about something else.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Bloodborne is always really like, because I've seen very early Bloodborne stuff, like basically before it was even like properly made as a game, like when they're like writing about how we're going to make this, and it's sort of always been the same set of ideas just being moved around and around in different ways. So I think that's why it maintains its like coherency, because it's got thematic coherency rather than like even though like parts of there are like plot holes in it, and there are some stories that don't really hold up to scrutiny, like what, wait, they did what, how did that happen, but like it's still hanging together in terms of what it's about, and that's sort of more important to me. And I think that's why like when I'm dismissive of things, it's not because I think like it's not, I just sort of feel like it doesn't matter. Like, there was a discussion about Ornstein's weird timeline last time, and I'm like, on one level, like, this is a fucking mess, and on the other level, I don't think it really matters, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, to, like, what Dark Souls is articulating, the fact that, like, one character's biography is kind of a mess is, like, whatever. The core of it is still there, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Richie, Let me ask you
Yes,
something
ma'am.
about scary movies.
All right.
Because, I watched like scary movies my whole life and I went through different phases of what I like and don't like.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I feel like in the last few years, what I like is that, like, Event Horizon?
yeah,
You know how it feels like the ship is alive or
yeah,
haunted and it's like
yeah, yeah.
infecting you or making you think things. Like, what do you call that when it's like it feels like a place is alive? More so than haunted, but like, let's say you break a wall and behind it is like flesh, like weird like that.
You'd call it like a place that is alive, I
No,
guess.
no, but like, does that have, is that like a genre? Like,
Well, it's an aesthetic, I
yeah,
guess.
okay.
I mean, it's a bit of subgenre of. Actually, there's a movie. You remember? I showed you a bit of a movie called Mechanical Violator Hakaider really long time ago.
I don't remember.
That has a really cool bit at the end where it's like the two characters are fighting in a completely white room, but every time they hit the walls or the pillars, it cracks open and there's like blood inside,
Okay.
and like it's not really like flesh, but like weird pipes and things. So as they're doing it, the room is like starting to bleed, and all of
Mm-hmm.
these like flesh is starting to hang down. I don't know because I like that body horror stuff, but
So I guess is that body horror?
well, is a house a body? Because like I like stuff like Tetsuo the Iron Man and Tokyo Gore Police and stuff like
Mm,
that.
yeah. I also
Yeah,
like Dead Space, but it feels like it's a mix of like something's taken over the ship, people are transforming
yeah,
into
yeah,
monsters. But yeah.
yeah.
But I really like that stuff when some infection seems to be spread and take over a place.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen. Somebody mentioned, Videodome.
Oh yeah, yeah. All
I
hell in you flesh.
I haven't seen it yet, but again, like it's
Yeah,
on my list.
yeah. That's not that's like body horror, but not really like scary. It's more like a thriller sort of surreal thing. Yeah. Event Horizon was a movie that like I hated and hated and hated in my like 20s, and now I think it's cool again.
Really? I
Yeah.
always loved it. Why did you hate it?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Oh. But I mean, it's like, I also see why somebody wouldn't like it. It's not necessarily an action movie, it's not necessarily a spooky thriller.
Yeah.
It's like a very its own thing, I guess. I love Morpheus though, so.
Ha- have you seen the Japanese baseball movie where violence is allowed and the opposing team are Nazis? I don't think so, but I might actually have it
The what?
because I
Sorry, what's
have
the movie?
um I don't know the name, but it says that Japanese baseball movie where violence is allowed and the opposing team are Nazis. I might actually own that because I have a lot of Japanese movies and that does sound familiar, and I think it's something I have but haven't watched. I know that I have a bunch of like violent sport movies, partially from the bootleg place I used to live near, and partially when there was a really really good video store in town, and it was an independent thing, and it was run by this woman called Carmel, who I like knew, and she was really really um she was trying to like she had this sort of curator approach where she was actually trying to make like cater to everyone. And I went in like when it started to close, and like she was saying to me like it's a shame that like everything's moving to streaming because it's harder to accidentally find things when
Yeah,
you're streaming than it is if they're on shelves.
it's true.
And then yeah, I she had a very large Japanese movie section, and I bought most of them because they were on sale for like a couple of dollars each. So I haven't watched them all yet. Oh yeah, Deadball. I definitely have Deadball. That's in there somewhere. Have I seen Sex and Fury? No, and I don't think I have it. But yeah. Have we seen Last Protagonist channel? Yeah. Did we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we considered doing feet cam for Soulsborne, Sin?
No.
I actually did get some positive feedback on my feet from last time.
I mean, Baby Yoda doesn't even have feet.
That's true.
How would he feel if we did that?
Well, can't he just levitate with the Force?
Yeah.
I like how it's literally bigger than you are. Okay, hang on, okay. Guns in Bloodborne vary in IRL historical period, and those periods correspond to types, workshop file, but etc. Do you think they could mean something to the timeline? The Thumerians had guns, and then yeah, it's true. As they develop, they get more and more kind of ornate. What I like about the guns in Bloodborne is that some of them are just straight up things from Armored Core that they just steampunkified. Like Ludwig's rifle. Have you looked at that thing? Where it's just like, boom. Like that's just an Armored Core grenade launcher that they've made portable. I didn't notice this until I was doing the GIFs for the wiki, because there's if people aren't aware, one of my projects for the wiki was going through every single gun in the game and recording it being fired. And then doing a frame count to see at what how many frames are in between the bullets and stuff, and there's animated GIFs for all of them up. And I didn't realize till I watched it back that they can it, right? Because it's so quick. It doesn't just go bang. It actually the barrel extends, it goes boof, and then like that? Whoever I'm convinced that whoever was in charge of that is just so bitter that they haven't made an Armored Core game for 7 years. And they're just alright, it's my time to shine.
Beautiful.
It's so ridiculous. Do I think Bloodborne has anything interesting to say about a concept of civilization? I think it has a lot of interesting things to say about everything. I'm not sure where to begin with that. I liked Hollow Knight's take on civilization. That was interesting. Because what I liked about Hollow Knight, right, is that this is very basic, but I'm it's good that you did it that way. Is that the backstory of Hollow Knight is they're all just mindless bugs, and then this other bug called the Pale King shows up and gives them all reason. And then this other thing called the Radiance, because they have that reason, is able to sort of infest them. And what I liked about it, it's very it's simple, it's not particularly profound, but I liked it, is that they don't present it as you were savages and then I brought you reason and now you're descending back into being savages. It's actually without reason they were pretty chill. And then yeah, it's not I said it wasn't Hobbesian, I guess, when we were talking with Alhazred, and I don't like that worldview that everything is sort of mindless and savage until you discipline it.
Does anybody have any questions about Kentucky Hitman Reborn?
Silence. Oh, no, we have a response. About what?
Katekyo Hitman Reborn!
You're constantly, and your people have joined the channel just because of Reborn. It's starting to look a little shaky.
Does it have an ending? Yeah, Reborn has an ending, but we're not going into it because Richie's only on season 1. Will Sin play Outlast? I tried. I tried the second one. I I couldn't, like, I played it for like 5 minutes and then I couldn't, my heart couldn't take it. But I've finished Amnesia Rebirth, The Dark Descent. Excuse me, I finished, what else? There was something else, I forget. Well, I finished the Dead Spaces. But I'm now playing Resident Evil 7. So I think if I can get through that, because that's so scary. Resident Evil 7 is just... I can't even put into words what it is. It's just so scary, and it's atmosphere, it's jump scares, it's the creepy people. They're just like popping out everywhere trying to kill you, and it's everything, and it's constant like pressure on your heart and your soul and your brain, and it's, if I can make it through that, I think I'll try Outlast again.
Okay, we have a question. We have two questions about Reborn.
Yes.
One is Richie a fan of Reborn? Sin,
yes.
Can you answer the question?
Yeah, Richie, at first Richie was like, I don't know about this anime, but toward the end Richie's excited to watch season 2.
And also, does Richie do impressions on the Reborn podcasts?
Yeah, you do a Reborn impression sometimes.
Reborn!
Yeah.
And I do the announcer voice. Oh my god, Raceland gave us £50.
Oh, Raceland! I was shy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raceland. But Raceland...
I feel like we don't deserve it. Look at this crap.
Oh my god, time for financial advice again. Raceland,
I'll just spend it on more junk.
Actually, did Raceland predict content? Or did we... No, we already we released the one where there's a Hellraiser Matryoshka. Anyway, Raceland, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. But now that we got the first donation, it's time to talk about financial advice with Richie and Sin.
I can't give financial advice because fucking look at me, so I'm just going to sit here baking this cake. Eating this cake. If you bake your own cake, it is cheaper than buying it, though.
Definitely.
So
making your own
food
is a lot cheaper. Yeah, so we actually have a thing called patreon.com/SinclairLore. Now, the reason I can't give you... You know what, Raceland, are you on Discord? If you're on Discord, can you send me a message? But basically, what happened with YouTube is that it didn't give small creators anything for a long time. But Patreon had a whole structure you could use, so I used the Patreon structure. And by the time, YouTube decided small creators exist, like, I couldn't, like, transfer things because it was too much. Like, I can't... go through 400 videos and try to figure out how it fits within YouTube. They don't even have YouTube doesn't even have all the, like, tiers and rewards and all that, so it wouldn't even be good. So basically, that's why if you donate on YouTube or if you become a member on YouTube, I think all you get is, like, emojis that I asked Tech to make. And that's it. But, if you go to... the chat is loading. Oh, the chat is loading. Okay, if you go to patreon.com/SinclairLore, there's actual tiers you can pick. And you can see the rewards you get for each tier. So, like, there's a tier that's just $2 where you get a bunch of podcasts and clips and whatever. There's a $5 tier where you get everything. $2 tier, but also extra stuff. $10 tier you get from. So you get everything from every tier as you move up. And so, like, but at least you get, like, something, for your money. You get some reward. So,
Graceland knows.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. But yeah, so if anybody wants to donate, do it on Patreon if you can. Like, obviously our choice, just so we don't feel that bad, because at least then it's like you get something in return.
So there was some stuff in the chat we can talk about.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. So I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna make a shot of it and say Casper says that, like, this is about the notion of mindless civilizations, and I assume he is saying that, like, is an archaeologist and just saying that, like, just if you don't understand the logic that people were following, it doesn't mean they didn't follow a logic. And I think that's like really important. It's particularly like it's something that I'm quite aware of as an Australian because we're a colony, and a lot of indigenous knowledge was completely destroyed on the grounds that, according to British Empire logic, it didn't exist because it didn't match the way that they understood it, because it was recorded differently and expressed differently, and it was destroyed because it was deemed to be invaluable, to be like not valuable. And we're now in a situation where like it's very hard to recover. Like we talked about that we talked about bunyips in that bunyip episode. That like there's whole like languages and things that were wiped out, and there's like the way that history would be recorded in geoglyphs, which were just deemed to be like, this is just a mound, who cares, and it's actually the equivalent of like a historical document. Yeah. The other one was like, that cake is so yellow. So yeah, there's a little bit of it left here. I bake a lot, and I bake entirely using egg white, because then it's the batter is completely white, and and you can add any color, and it becomes extremely strong.
That's really cool.
Yes. I actually made... Do you want a heartwarming story about this cake?
Yes.
I made this for my brother.
Aww.
Because my brother, like people who don't know, is like quite badly autistic and basically needs round-the-clock care. And one of his like autistic like triggers, I guess, was a video clip that was a car driving along like a red orangey road. And I don't know exactly what the issue was, but it really, really upset him for like years and years and years, and he eventually sort of learned to deal with it. Literally like a week ago. And then he said, like, now that I've learned to deal with it, we have to celebrate, and I want you to make me something. So I made this, and like that orangey thing is the same shade as the road.
Aww.
And so is the cream.
That's very sweet.
So I gave that to him.
Very cute.
Oh. Okay. So you once talked about the number of sigils you get from Armory, the number of thrones in Gale's Boss Arena. Can you elaborate on it? Okay, so I am trying to remember now. Basically, like, you need... this is again going back to how I haven't played Dark Souls 3 for so long. From memory, it's 5 sigils that you need to do the Lord of Hollows quest. So you've got 5, and then you get another 3 from Anri. I think it's that. The point is it adds up to 8. You end up with 8 after the Anri thing. Then when you go into the arena... Gale's Arena is like the old throne room of the Pygmies. And it's broken into... There's 8 of them, and it's also broken into 5 and 3. And that's also the number of sigils you get. And they just seem to be connected, I guess. I don't know if it's actually, like, supposed to be this, and this is one of those things that, like, people say stuff like this, like, I noticed something, and then I noticed something else. They must be connected. So, like, this is just, like, caveat. I don't know if they were thinking this. It just happens to be a thing. Which is that the number 4 is associated with death, and 8 is 2 4s, but in both cases of the Dark Soul, you never actually neatly have 4 of them. It's always broken into 5 and 3. So that, to me, I don't know if that's deliberate, but it did seem to sort of be like, oh, okay, like 4 is death, and then... But you never actually get the 4, you only ever get a 5 or a 3. So that's sort of like, oh, Dark Soul, undead, undying, you don't die. So you don't get the 4. But I have no idea if that ever crossed anyone's mind at all. But, like, it, yeah. That sort of was like, oh, that's a thing. Oh, yeah, 4 Kings as well. thing about the Four Kings is that there's like multiple kings. You can get like there's 4 of them, but if you play around with the mechanics, I think you can get up to 12. I think so 11 or 12 is the maximum.
Fun fact, fun Snack Covenant history. Richie can't bully me about not having beaten the 4 kings anymore. For those who remember. Because whenever we talk about Dark Souls and I throw shade at Richie, he'd be like, "Oh, but have you beaten the 4 kings yet?" And he can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Now, Sin, I have to pick you up on something there. Mm-hmm. Who beat the 4 kings for you when you beat the 4 kings?
I actually was with a very, very good friend, Baby Yoda. Mm-hmm. Baby Yoda helps me beat the 4 kings.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baby Yoda.
Yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is that I am the one that helped you beat the 4 kings, so it's just neutral now. It's not. I've made up for. That was one of the few things my mother actually liked of the podcast.
What?
When we were fighting the 4 kings, she heard part of it. you can hear me going, oh, it's like, oh, in the background, and then you go, oh, I'm you, Richie! And then you start running. And she just thought it was funny.
Aww.
Okay, so Casper's thing mentions about Filianor's egg. I can fill in something about a Filianor's egg that's only come up recently.
Richie?
Yes?
I'm hungry.
Well, come here, I'll give you cake.
Okay, how about you talk about Filianor egg and I go grab snack? Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, so, I'm part of a... Aw, Baby Yoda. Aw. Okay, so I am involved in a, kind of Dark Souls 3 restoration thing that's going on. I'm not doing any of the data mining, but I guess I'm like a consultant in some way, because they're like, hey, what does this look like to you? Have you noticed this thing? Blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that they've dug up, I don't know, Eugenio from there sometimes shows up in our chat. I don't think he's here tonight, though. But one of the things they dug up is that egg thing that Filianor's holding, internally, it's called, like, something of the moon. So, like, when it was... A lot of Ringed City is stuff that is from, like... It's from the old Dark Souls 3 story they didn't go with for some reason that we don't fully understand. That, like... And, the Ringed City itself looks like it's a recycling of an area called God's Grave. And a bunch of stuff in there, like, they pretty much just, like... God's Grave was deleted from Dark Souls 3, but, like, the Ringed City is made out of it. And, yeah, that thing is called the egg. It's called something of the moon. I might actually look it up. Because I can just open that, Discord up and say... You know what? I can't see it because since Baby Yoda is actually covering up the top, here we are. It's called... I think it's just called Moon. So, yeah, that thing is called Moon. And I guess if you look at it, it's kind of like a moon. It's a sphere. And, yeah, one of the theories that we're working on, and this goes back to, like, before really any serious data mining was happening, just back when Ring City came out, we were like, what the hell is this? Is that, you know the area where you fight Gale? It's very, very big. It's very big. It's far too big to be, like, actually someone thought this was a good idea for a boss arena. It would be a good boss arena in Armored Core, where you're flying around on a jetpack and everyone's got, like, railguns. But in Dark Souls, it doesn't really work as a boss arena. We're like, what the hell is this thing? And what we're kind of working off is that area probably used to be, like, a hub back when Irithyll was in a desert. like it would have been kind of part of that, like somewhere at the beginning, because it's got this sort of like Erythilian architecture going on in it. And I guess the other, and when you think about like Filianor and the egg and everything, Filianor waking up and like the ringed city illusion disappearing and revealing the ruins is pretty much what happens with Guinevere and Anor Londo in 1, where like if you dispel the Guinevere illusion, it all disappears and you're left with like the empty, dark Anor Londo. So it looks like it's really, really similar. But I don't really know. Oh, Irithyll was a desert, yeah. This is, again, it's like stuff we sort of figured out before we had data mining, but basically in the intro of Dark Souls 3, when you see all the pilgrims going on the desert, and it's like, the pilgrims are venturing north. You'll notice in the distance, like when the camera pans up, it's fucking Irithyll. You see Irithyll, and it's Irithyll in an ash desert. And when you think about it, like, ash desert, snow, you just really change some textures around. The ash desert could pass as snow, so maybe they did that. And then we then during the data mining we found out that it just straight up says like Irithyll, not Irithyll. They call it Anor Londo ruins back then. The notion of Irithyll came later, and it just straight up says like Anor Londo ruins are in the desert. And then like Lance poked around like much later on. He said, "Yeah, I found the desert version," and like it was in a desert. It was the desert that you see in the intro, like not a sand desert, but like this ash desert. It's kind of like the Dreg Heap. It was that, and they just recolored the ash to be like bluey white, and it became the Boreal Valley. And it became Irithyll of the Boreal Valley, and prior to that, it was just called Anor Londo Ruins. And even like, even when it was Irithyll, like, they don't really want Anor Londo to be a surprise, like, until later on, because like back when we talked about it before, but there was this thing called the epitaph system where they were basically like just a fancy kind of player message that would be left on the ground as an epitaph, and you'd touch it and it would show you something. There was one for Irithyll that just straight up says like, we will never forget its name, the Shining City of the Sun. So like they're just straight up saying, hey, Anor Londo surprise. Who would win, Aldrich or the Moon Presence? Moon Presence is kind of a pushover, to be honest. Although the Moon Presence can reduce your hit points to 1 by looking at you weirdly. And Aldrich, if we assume Aldrich doesn't have access to the regain system, the Moon Presence might actually win. There's a big, I don't know if people have seen it, but there's a channel, and I've totally forgotten the name of it, that does these like Bloodborne boss fights where they just make them hostile to each other and see who wins. And I think Moon Presence lasts a pretty long time, I think largely because of that reduce your hit points to 1 attack. Garden of Ice, thank you, Mike. Yeah. Who wins? I think Orphan of Kos ends up winning because he's so aggressive. Doom Kitty, any chance of the podcast on Dark Souls 3 cut stuff? Yeah, because like I said, Eugenio, who I don't think is in the chat, but like we're involved in like some restoration stuff, and there's a lot of new stuff that's been dug up because someone leaked the network test version of Dark Souls 3, I think. It's like an older version of Dark Souls 3 that like previously was inaccessible. It's now accessible. A bunch of people have it. I don't know how easy it is to get because it's a PC version and I don't play on PC. But there's been a lot of data mining done of the network test version, and there's a bunch of like stuff in there that we've not seen before. So it's kind of a case of like when do we want to talk about this? Do we want to wait until we have more, or do we want to talk about it now? And I think at some point, we are going to roll. We're just going to have to rule a line under it and talk about it. And one of the people who's doing that does want to talk to us about it. They messaged us and we said like, "Oh, cool. Do you want to come and talk to us?" And they said that'd be great. They didn't think we would ask them. That was nice. So, we will talk to them about it eventually. Yeah. There's a lot of cut stuff that's been dug up, particularly around like Rosaria and the Deacon's boss and stuff like that. When Sin returns, ask her if she is a mezzo soprano on the side. Oh dear. Yeah, like I've seen a bunch of cool Dark Souls 3 cut stuff, but I don't know what I can actually talk about because they might not want it blabbed about. But like, there's stuff about the cathedral, there's stuff about Lothric that's been dug up that's like, oh, that actually makes sense. Okay. Do you think Dark Souls and Bloodborne intentionally take opposite sides on the nature of humans, with Dark Souls as humans as willfully blind and Bloodborne as humans as looking forward? I don't know. Because, like, I guess the difference is that in Bloodborne, it's like everything is sort of always wrong. And people are sort of groping around blindly trying to deal with it. And then Dark Souls is I don't know. Sort of thinking about like the notion of they're sort of similar in some ways, I guess. Because like, you know, it's like soul and blood and stuff, like they sort of stand for the same thing. They stand for where you came from, and it's all about like manipulating that essence of you. Contrasting hollowness and beasthood. Well, the thing is, like, the Dark Souls games are kind of... This is what I mean about, like, liking Bloodborne because it's a self-contained, coherent world, is that, like, the Dark Souls games kind of go back and forth on hollowing, particularly with 2, where it's, like... Dark Souls is, like... What that's sort of getting at is, like, okay, hollowing is who... It's sort of, like, something that might have to happen to you to sort of move forward. Like, the hollow is... scary, but like 1 and 3 sort of posit that like, well, that's actually the way forward, is to sort of embrace like the dark and embrace like your heritage is actually something that's inhuman. And then that sort of climaxes in 3 with like, let's all turn into butterflies and disappear. And then Sin's back. Okay. Yeah, and then Beasthood is like also, it's kind of the same thing, because like something that we talked about it with I recall us mentioning, I don't remember where it was, but like
Hello.
oh yeah, it was
Hi.
on a What Where Why. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. It was on a What Where Why, but we were talking about how like when Dura says like the beasts mean you no harm, like, on a sort of micro level, that's fucking stupid. Because if you go to Old Yharnam, they'll try to kill you instantly. But he's also right in the sense that if you just left Old Yharnam as it was, the beasts aren't aggressive. They're not trying to get out of Old Yharnam. They're just there. So in a sense, it's almost like, you know, it's like if you walked into like a creature's natural habitat, it would probably get mad and try to kill you. But yeah, like, yeah, this is from Red's Man talking to Arky, but like, yeah, Bloodborne is a critique of Enlightenment empiricism, absolutely. Any tips on getting past Irithyll Dungeon? Oh, you're frightened of the dragon babies. Sin, do you have any tips on getting through Irithyll Dungeon? Because Dark Souls 3 is the first one you beat.
What is the recommended level to beat that? Multiplied by 3. Once you're that level, go back and beat it. That's how I did it. You're welcome.
I like how in our chat there's a discussion of how rationality precipitates cultural decline according to Spengler. What other Souls channels have comments of this caliber? Oh, Asha Osborne 95. What's the deal with the star-nosed moles in the Chalice dungeons? We have a whole episode.
Fine. Oh my god, I'm so happy because when we're just starting What Where Why, every friggin' day Rich is like, well, who's gonna look for that specifically? That's what. Okay, what did we call it? Mole? Labyrinth mole? Yes! Hole digger.
The labyrinth mole.
No, it's both. I put both in the title so people can find it. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna paste it in the chat. I'm so excited. Okay. And it's an episode specifically on that one character. So you have all the answers you could want.
There's a great Richie Sin contrast part at the start.
Oh, is that the one
where we talk about O. Henry.
Oh, Henry?
The two different O. Henrys.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Arthur has a Dark Souls Marxism discussion. Alright.
By the way, there's a whole playlist for What, Where, Why, Enemies of Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna paste it. It's actually one of our better playlists, I think. Because it's one of the more recent things we did.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so check it out. It's really cool.
So there's a discussion about is Bloodborne anti-science. I don't think Bloodborne's anti-science at all. I think what it is it's anti the notion that you can empirically understand everything and get to enlightenment that way. In the same way that like scientific characters in Lovecraftian stuff, they're not like punished for being scientists. It's not anti-science. It's just you hit a point where science stops working. Or by science, I mean like their very specific understanding of the world. Like you reach a point where like, yes, Sin.
Sorry.
Yes, I believe Sin has a question.
Okay.
Yes, Sin.
Just a note: what Lawrence is doing is not science. As somebody who works in a lab, a actual research lab, I just want to point out.
Yes.
I don't think Lawrence knows what science is.
Well, but a lot of like, I don't. A lot of people have done things like that, and I wouldn't necessarily say, well, that wasn't science. I'd say it was bad and
bad
it was
science.
like abusive. Yeah.
Yeah, good science is like there's a protocol, there's an ethics committee, you get your grant, you hire your research assistants, you follow everything as you're supposed to, you have a clear design, you register your protocol so people know you're not trying to do something freaky.
Yeah.
And I don't think Lawrence did. He just set up a lab in his basement that was totally just like messed up. It was not good science at all. Like maybe it's somewhere else in Yharnam there's a good lab that's just like, oh my god, what's he doing? Basically, if there had been an ethics
committee involved, none of this would have happened.
No, also if there was police in town, they would have been arrested. Like, this is...
The police is Volta.
Walter needs to take a look at this whole Lawrence situation.
Maybe that's why he showed up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's just offensive to me. Lawrence is offensive to me. With his science.
Yeah.
Who would even fund that lab? Well, somebody said maybe Kinehurst did. Maybe.
Well, they worked well. How's that working out for you, Annalise?
Oh no. How do they even keep track of the data? Like, I'd like to go in the room where all the data is stored. I'd like to take a look. You know what?
I'm thinking of something that happened at your work and wondering if that happened, and I'm almost certain it did. What's the one thing you forgot to what?
Yeah, I got to what? Yeah, we don't want to go into details, but basically,
Yeah.
something happened at work, and it's like, how? But I think whenever you work somewhere and somebody
Yeah.
does something like dumb, it gives you a little confidence because you're like, oh, I didn't do that. I did it the right way. Phew. So I am competent. But next time we go, you know what? Maybe that should be returned to Bloodborne. We're gonna look for Lawrence's data in the research
Well, let's
hall.
return to Yarnum in about 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I meant you to return to Ariandel. So we're
Okay,
gonna
look for Lawrence's data.
yeah,
Okay.
in the research hall somewhere, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
Or in no, it wouldn't be in Kindhurst. He didn't have another lab in Kindhurst, did he? Because we don't visit half the castle. Because you can have multiple offices in different institutions, right?
That's true. That's true.
Hmm.
Do you think it, like the university that I was attached to, they had 2 campuses, and there was like one campus was kind of prestigious and the other wasn't. So people would be like, "Yeah, I'm at university," and they'd be like, "What campus?" And it's like, "I'm at that university."
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful Baronatutu is here. Hello.
Oh, hey! How's it going? Why do you think Yosefka's blood vial is in the Nightmare of Menses?
Why do I think the game designers put it there, or why do I think it's there if we treat the Nightmare of Mentis as a real place?
Okay,
I've
first,
done so both.
let's do it first within the context of the finished game.
Okay, I think it's there because, like, Yosefka was giving out blood vials to a lot of people, and someone brought it with them. Mensis might have taken some, because, like, she was presumably just giving it to hunters that night. So someone from Yahagol might have had one. Someone from Mensis could have just asked for one, and like the whole point of Yosefka's blood vials, it's really, really like it's a special kind of blood that's better than the Healing Church's blood. So you can totally understand why they'd be like, "Hey, we need to look into this stuff because it looks." And now that Yosefka's not really around anymore, we can just be like, "Yeah, that was our idea." The reason that it is there, there's kind of two reasons, I think. The first one is, I think they are trying to cue you to go back to Yosefka's clinic in case you've missed it. Because, like, the way that Bloodborne's structured is you warp around. It's entirely possible that you've never gone back to the clinic and you've never gone back to Erden Chapel since you went through there because you're just using the dream to warp around. Cat. I think it's to cue you to go back there. Because, like, if you do, you'll be able to pick up that third chord from the imposter. The other reason is I think it's a little in-joke. Because the wet nurse boss, from what we can tell, that started off as something from Yosefka's clinic. Or at least that area. So I think it might be a little in-joke from the developers, like, ho ho ho. It's full of things like that. Like, there's little jokey notes where they'll call, like, what Maria's sitting, and they call that a warp chair. Even though the concept of warp chairs was cut, like, way before they had a DLC, but they're just like, haha, it's a warp chair. Do you have anything to add?
No, I agree with that.
Okay. I should put my mic on the other side next time, so I'm actually looking at you when I talk into it.
Oh, yeah, good thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe you're being passive aggressive. Like, I don't know her. I'm not here. I don't know her.
I only hang out with the Law Hunter.
Yeah, it's true. Damn, nobody invites me to podcasts.
Yes, you do. You've been on some.
Looks like Rich is the popular one.
Remember when you were on Senator K's channel?
And I almost got murdered. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Chairs make more sense than lamps. Why would they cut? I have no idea why they cut the warp chairs, actually.
I know why. I can answer that.
Okay.
I can answer that with a demonstration.
Okay.
What is cooler? This? Oh, this is a chair. I'm just gonna sit down in this chair. Oh, I guess I'm warping now. Oh, wow, this is excellent. This is really good. I'm warping. Oh, I guess I wake up, go to work. Time to go to work. Bye. What is cooler, this or this? Boom. 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 Boom, boom, boom. I mean, when I do it, they're both not cool, okay? But, in theory...
So this is the lamp animation. Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
In theory, like, just doing this to light up this cool-looking lamp that's, like, slick, and it's a lamp, and it's just, like, this dreamy thing. Lamp is way cooler. It goes better with the Bloodborne aesthetic.
Alright. If you say
That's
so.
why. Thank you. Also, if you ever want to make your, like, house Bloodborne themed or whatever, like, what's more easily recognizable? You know, like Dark Souls has this bonfire.
Chairs are actually quite a common thing to have in a house.
You're not gonna, yeah, but not like, then they'd have to make a chair that's, like, recognizable somehow. But, like, if you see this lamp on anywhere, you'll know Bloodborne lamp. You know what I mean? It's more iconic.
Where are you gonna get it from?
It just doesn't matter. 3D printer, you draw it, you paint it, you sculpt it. It's iconic. It's an iconic image, whereas chair is kind of like, chair. You know?
Okay.
Thank you.
If you want the full history of Bloodborne warp things, it was, you used corpses to warp, then that became you used statues to warp, and, the statues that you used are the one that's in the workshop. It's the one that's at the back near the memory altar, that, like, woman statue that you also see in the chalices. That was a warp point. Then that became chairs. Despite what Sin says, I think the chairs were pretty cool. Because you'd encounter the chairs, and they would have a player phantom version of you in the chair. Like, you'd see yourself in the chair like this. With, like, the ghost shader applied to you, and then you'd walk up to and you'd touch it, and that would, like, wake up and vanish, and then you'd sit in the chair in its place.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. A giant-ass chair in the middle of the street with a ghost on it, and then you touch it, and then you sit on it, and then you're like, oh, my back hurts.
I think you're projecting, because it's like, here's why chairs aren't cool. I'm tired, my back hurts, I have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, I actually, you know why I said my back hurts specifically? Because yesterday, like, my back hurt a lot, because I've been working and editing so much, not moving from my chair. I was like, ow, I need to do some stretching. So I may be projecting a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is way cooler still. Ooh, cool lamp. Boom, 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 boom. Lit.
Okay, so Bear is asking, the statues use an energy sword. Yeah, I'll actually look up what that was called, because I can... Maybe I shouldn't tell you. Maybe from memory. Basically, yeah, I'll just say that's that little sword thing that had a specific name in the game. And it got far enough in to have an on-screen prompt and a, like, little message that showed up when you used it. So... When we do the next big Bloodborne dump and it's all okayed, we can talk about what that was. But yeah. Okay, Jacob wants to know, what's our favorite vor in Soulsborne, Sin?
I'm trying.
Okay. I like the Labyrinth Mole. Because you're just like, you don't expect it to do that. You're just sitting there, and then it's like, hope, and then it spits you out. It's not entirely clear what happened to you, but now you're frenzying.
My favorite one is the big guy. It's like this.
Oh, the Chaos Demon from Isolith.
He's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah. My camera's being interrupted. I don't know why.
What? I see you fine.
Oh, I'm getting like black bars.
Weird.
Let's stop now. I think because my I have a little USB CD drive. It started whirring. It might have interrupted the signal, but it's fine now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm curious about, this is from Leon Lituski. I'm curious about Canehurst cut stuff. The one leg nights are interesting. Yeah, alright, so we brought this up last time, but like, there is a pretty big cut Canehurst thing. That is like, oh god, it's very significant, but it's also like, it doesn't really tell you anything about the story. It's just like a large piece of removed material that was connected to Canehurst. But if you're expecting like a new perspective on what Canehurst is, it's not really going to give you one because it's very, very early on. But yeah, like the when I talk about like them sticking to the same ideas, the idea of Canehurst, the idea of the big gothic vampire castle, that has been around since the beginning, and it initially looks like it played a much, much bigger role and was like, instead of it being a an optional place, like it was probably supposed to be the climax of the game. But like when I'm talking about this castle, it wasn't Canehurst, it was just like the vampire castle concept, which was seemingly designed. But was not, did not end up that way in the game. We can show it off at some point. Back when it's a lot of visual stuff I need to line up. Sorry, Ingrid is digging her claws into me. You have to just sit down.
Oh, so cute. You're such a cutie. He's like, no, I love you. I love you. Let me hug you, human. I love you too much,
Well,
human.
I think she's more like, it's cold. I need something warm to stick to.
Aww.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good thing because like it was more like the fishing helmet thematically. So this is like,
Richie, sorry, I have to interrupt you. I feel like any second now the computer will talk because Cinder donated $10. Oh, Cinder, why? Cinder Thief already supports us on Patreon for like, I don't know, ever since before you joined, Richie has been supporting us. Ever since before you were born. Yeah. And like, I can't. Cinder, save your money for college when you get your second law degree. But thank you very much, Cinder. Appreciate it. I'm not gonna give Cinder our the Patreon.com/Sinclair Law financial advice because he's already on there.
Yeah.
He knows. He knows what he does.
Yeah. So do you want to? This is something that I talked to you about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should go over it again because it's important about like ways the game changed.
Yeah.
So, it looks like this old idea for a vampire castle was supposed to be the end of the game. And I think the idea seems to be that, like, by the end of the game, I mean, it's hidden. You don't know about it. And I get the impression that this is like, it's vague information, but it's sort of, what I'm saying lines up with it, is that the reveal at the end of the game, similar to like when you do the Hunter's Nightmare and then you sort of like the big secret, we're guarding the secret, what's the secret? And the secret is the Hamlet Massacre. This would have been like, we're guarding a secret, what's the secret? Oh, the secret is like Vampire Castle. And it looks like that would have been the same thing as the when you find Queen Yharnam in the chalices, where like it's building and building and building to the reveal, and the reveal is, oh, Yharnam is the way it is because literally the people there are descended from vampires, and that's the big reveal. And why, like, again, Sid and I talked about this. The reason that I like what they've done now is that it makes it much, much more personal. Because it changes, like, the big reveal is not what is the secret of the heritage of the town. It's that the reveal is, like, these characters who we've met and are, like, humans we can relate to did something terrible that they're trying to cover up. Which is, like, a much more, I think, dramatically engaging story.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if the reveal is like, oh, you're a vampire, it's like, and have you seen it? Have you seen Twitter? We love 9 feet tall vampire ladies. What's the problem here?
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, it makes it more, like, much more personal. And again, like, when we talk about things being moved around, who's responsible for the Hamlet? It's like Lawrence, Gurman, Maria, and Willem. And of those three people, pretty much only Willem really existed early on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a reason there's no Lawrence model in the game. There's a reason that, like, Maria doesn't show up until the DLC. There's a reason why Gurman has two different models, because, like, they sort of, like, improvised those characters later in development.
Which is
But,
pretty
like,
impressive, considering their office
Yeah.
was on fire with, like, papers flinging everywhere. Like,
Well, yeah, but, like, yeah. So just shifting it from, like, the sort of conceptual horror of, oh, this town is made of vampire people, spooky, to, like, these actual humans who you've, like, heard about. It's actually this personal thing where they're trying to cover up something they did.
yeah.
And that's sort of what's driving, that's what's making them do these terrible things. They're, like, doubling down, like, no one can ever know what we've done. That's, like, it's much more relatable. Hello, Danielle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I like it more because it's more like as you may know, Richie, I don't know, I don't think I talk about it on podcasts that much because I just cut those parts out not to get murdered. But I don't really connect with, like, ooh, fantasy, dragons, that stuff, like, oh, ancient kings. Like, the only thing I like that's like that is Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I don't know why, because I just, meh.
I said that on Law Hunters podcast, like, yesterday.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I have no memory. I'll listen to it, but I have no memory these days. So that's why, like, Bloodborne, I much prefer stuff like Bloodborne to stuff like Dark Souls, personally.
Yeah.
Just because I find, like, not little, but more personal things where, like, these people went and did this horrible thing, and now there's, like, this curse on them, and you're going to hell for doing it. Oh, man, we gotta cover it up. Like, it's more... Like, it's more anxiety-inducing, and more like, oh my god, did Ingrid just try to climb you?
Ingrid tries to climb me. Ingrid tries to sit here. And it doesn't work because look at how thin the back of the chair is.
Oh no,
Ingrid, you cannot sleep on this. It's not physically possible. So she climbs up me like a fucking tree, and she goes to sleep in between me and that. So I end up like this, trying to use the computer with this cat, like, human.
Yeah, and Ingrid's claws don't retract, so she's like goes into your flesh.
Yeah,
like,
Ingrid's 16, I think. So they're like,
Ingrid.
So she's old and her claws don't retract properly, so she just sticks into me.
Oh, that's painful.
There's a lot of editing out of me going during recording because she leaps across the room, and it's like having someone throw caltrops at you.
Aww.
I'm getting very annoyed at you, Ingrid.
Aww.
She has shelter, she has food, she has a bed she can sit on, she has some clothes she can
She's
sleep
not even
in.
your cat. You're not even the owner.
I took you in, I fed you when no one else would.
Yeah.
And like that, the other cat I don't own, who doesn't have a name because he's feral.
Aww.
He's very well behaved. He pops in, he's very grateful. He has his snack and he leaves. And he will give me friendly little squinty eyes to say hello to me. And I'm very invested in him. And sometimes, like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and he will actually be sitting on the table looking at me. Or he'll come in and he'll sit on my table, and he'll just be like, sort of like checking me out to see if I'm aggressive, and then when I wake up and he's like, and then he just sort of scurries off.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are asking, why don't you get a new chair?
This is the new chair. I'm not getting a new chair for the sake of Ingrid the cat. I bought this chair, okay?
This was your choice. I bought this chair. Well,
yeah.
My parents actually helped me pay for this chair as a present. I forget. Yeah. They felt bad for something. What did they felt? Oh yeah, because nobody got me. This is fine. Like, because my birthday was when the pandemic started, type deal, and everybody kind of forgot about it. I think, and my parents felt really bad, and I was like, well, it's fine. I don't care. It's fine. Like whatever. And so they actually helped me pay for this chair. And I feel like there's been residual subconscious guilt ever since, because, like, they literally got me this expensive-ass Baby Yoda for Valentine's when I told them, like, let's not do Valentine gifts this year because my job is not certain, and, you know, like, it's been a hard year. Let's do it next year. And they gave me this, and I'm like, why? And same thing on Christmas and New Year. That was when my... my contract was supposed to be canceled type deal, and like I was like, listen, I don't know what's happening, so can we not get gifts just so there's no anxiety among people? They still got me gifts, and I was like, but I think I'm starting to think it's the residual subconscious guilt. This is their fishing Hamlet. They forgot my birthday once, which is like, I don't care. I've had like over 30 of them. It's fine. We can move on. We've been through this like 30 something times. Every year, it's the same thing. It's okay.
Are there any other questions about video games?
Video games. Video games. Video games. Hey guys, this is from Mind Jade. Been watching the channel for a while now. I want to know what your guys' favorite pieces of cut content are across the series. And what parts of the cut content do you wish were kept?
I imagine you as like, I'm your singing sinogram. Delivering messages. There's two sins, two moods, and...
I think the most, not favorite, but like one that sticks out to me as the most ridiculous is Simon killing Maria. Simon, who can't kill one boss, who follows us around in the game, pretending like he killed someone, who gets killed by Brador. And my theory is that he doesn't even get killed by the Ghost Raider. He gets killed by the real Brador. The one that has 1 HP. That's my theory. That's how Simon dies.
Yeah, it doesn't even attack you.
Exactly.
Simon was just like trying to do something really cool with the Chikage and died.
Just like, oh, Jesus. Just dies, and Brador's like, ding, ding, ding. I swear I didn't. Yeah.
Do you wish they'd kept that?
What?
Do you wish they kept that?
Which one? Just our imaginary thing, or?
Either of them. They all work.
I think it would have been cool if we found Simon in Braid's cell.
Yeah.
Dead. Killed by 1 HP Braider. That would be realistic. Because I can't. Simon. I cannot with Simon. Even implying that he could have taken on Maria? Really? I don't think so.
Okay, potential way around it, right? Simon has played Demon Souls. So he knows that there's probably a little gap in the fog wall that he can exploit. So he's standing outside the fog wall with the bow blade going at Maria.
Okay, but Maria isn't an
like
idiot.
A coward, like a coward.
She is. But Marie is not an idiot. She would have moved. She would have moved her chair. She would have just left the room. She'd be like, Simon, you're really annoying today. She like leaves, goes to the fishing hamlet. Bye.
My theory is she's pretending to be dead to make him go away. That's why she suddenly wakes up when we're there. She's like, oh, thank God. Finally, that fucking idiot's gone.
Yes.
Yeah. I sort of want to say I wish they'd kept the original Dark Souls 3. That seems like cheating.
Like the entire game, the entire story.
The problem is, it's like, I wish they'd kept one part of it. Like, that one part sort of only makes sense if they also keep the other parts, like Ash Desert, Irithyll, and the Great Bridge, and the Pilgrims becoming the weird worm things and stuff.
I don't think that's a problem for Dark Souls 3, because they did keep parts that make no sense. So, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just like another thing that makes no sense, just throw it in there. It's fine. Just throw it in the blender. It's gonna be okay.
Can I annoy you and say I wish they kept warp chairs?
What?
What if I say I wish they'd kept the chairs because they're so cool and iconic?
In Dark Souls 3, yeah, that would have been fine in Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3 chairs.
Yeah.
It's a bonfire chair, you sit in it and it just catches fire.
Oh my god, no! I was... Richie, what? I was thinking like you sit in a chair and a little bonfire starts and you can like warm your hands. You can like do marshmallows, you can like grill a sausage on the fire and you're like, oh, this is good. This is a good place to relax.
Yeah. From Bloodborne, like, there honestly isn't that much stuff I wish that they kept.
Maybe just give us a bigger Kindhurst. Like, I want to see more rooms, more of the castle, I guess. Just.
I wish they kept the moon phases, like the dynamic moon phases they had, and I know that like that was a technical issue.
Oh my god! I kind of have no memory these days, but you know how when you arrive to Yharnam, right? And Yharnamites are like, oh, people are turning into beasts, but Yharnamites themselves are wolves with like the arms and the things, and you're like, you guys are already beasts. I wish they'd have it where when you first meet Yharnamites, they're like, you know, people and not beasts. And then when you come back after them, when everybody's like,
yeah, and that's something that we're gonna do, and then they ended up not having to be able to do it. Yeah, there's discussion of like the Archdragon Peak Alpha with the bridge and all this other stuff, and it's like, yeah. But like, it's cheating to say all of it.
All of it.
But all of it.
All of that.
All of it.
Is there anybody here who missed What, Where, Why Enemies of Bloodborne? Or Locations of Bloodborne? Whichever.
Min is very happy that you sung the question.
Oh, yay. Oh, some people missed it. Okay, well, I have good news because we recorded 3. 2 of them will be on Patreon once they're ready. Second one will be sometime. But the third one will be on YouTube because it has way too much Snack Covenant lore that we need to share with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Darkstar Mike is like, do you wish they didn't make Dark Souls 3 and did something else? And like, I feel that way about a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not like, I specifically don't like Dark Souls 3, so I wish they hadn't made it. Like, I don't... I feel like what From have done since the PS1 is that they like iterate on an idea and they like do something and then do something else with it and do something else with it, and I feel like the Dark Souls games becoming this like trilogy thing, it became a little like, can you just do something else? No. But what I actually wish is it's broader than that, because I wish they would stop making dark fantasy RPGs. Because they can do other things. And I'm very glad that we got Derasane, which was completely unlike anything they Like, well, the thing is, it's not unlike anything they've done before. It's like something they would have done on the PlayStation 1. But
Yeah,
we got one
definitely.
finally, and then like we got Sekiro, which was like a ninja game with some RPG stuff in it. But like I just want I want Elden Ring to be like followed by something that is wholly different.
Yeah.
And it might be.
But I don't think they could have not done Dark Souls 3 because it was really popular, and where else are they going to get
Yeah.
money? Like, you gotta.
No, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like it exists for like contractual reasons.
You know?
But like, yeah, like
Also, it was okay
yeah.
to play. It wasn't a horrible game.
Yeah,
I
no,
think,
it's fine. There's a baseline of competence they won't fall below.
yeah. It's just like with people like us who are crazy and obsessive, when you like start looking deeply into things. If you just play the whole game without looking too deep into the lore, it's really fun. It's really cool. There's armor. There's the thing with the thunder and the dragon slayer. That's totally awesome. And then these angels shoot lasers at you, and then you gotta fight two of these beasts. And then like, oh, Frida has 15 phases. It's amazing. And then like at the end, you fight Gale, which is totally awesome. Like, it's fine. It's an awesome game.
Yeah,
It's just...
yeah. I don't want to say I know, because I don't really know, but I am led to believe by things that are not easily disprovable rumors I read on a website somewhere that are concrete, that they are following Elden Ring with something that is not a Dark Fantasy RPG and is probably not going to be Soulsy at all.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I have to say in Dark Souls is 1, 2, 3, all of them, defense, is that you know how there's a lot of like, I guess, Souls clones or whatever.
Yeah.
And in a lot of games,
Surge-likes, if you will.
I don't know. I don't know. If, Surge-like, exactly.
Yeah,
but what I personally don't like in those games, and I like in Souls, is that you know how Souls has a lot of varying environments? Like, there's a forest, there's a swamp, there's a castle, and they're all like in a way different. You don't get like oversaturated with the same thing over and over.
Right. Yeah.
But some games, it's just like, oh, it's a cave and a street.
Well, you say that, but Dark Souls 3 does have a swamp that connects to another swamp.
That's fine. You got 2 different swamps. That's okay. I'm cool with that. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, some games are just like, oh, it's just this or just that. And it's always, like, these dark, bleak colors, and there's no contrast. And, like even Code
well, that's
Vein,
why the Surge is great, because it's got the factory, the assembly line, the manufacturing plant.
Thank you. I would say even Code Vein, I find it the environment a little too samey, not detailed enough, not, like, grandiose enough or whatever. But Dark Souls 3 I think is really... Sekiro too, I feel like, even though it's mostly the same theme, it's very pretty. It's like you don't feel like you're always in the same forest, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Sekiro's combat was so on point.
Yeah.
Like, I really love those hitboxes, like how you clash the blades. It's just like really, really cool.
Like, was Sekiro enough of a departure? This is a question from Bruce. Like, the thing is, if you go back to the PS1 with From, there are 3 PS1 series. Armored Core, Kingsfield, and Echo Knight. Armored Core is a mech game, Kingsfield's an RPG, Echo Knight's an adventure game. They all use the same engine. Like, they essentially all play exactly the same. It's just that some of them have, like, guns and some have stats on screen, and sometimes, like, you can jump. But fundamentally, like, it's the same engine. Very, very close to, like, identical with just different stuff in it. And that works fine, there's enough variety.
So...
And, Sekiro is, like, it's Dark Souls 3 code, I think. That's why people were able to mod back in, like, multiplayer and invasions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I feel like it maybe is a little too much into RPG-ish. I would have rather it was, like, goes even less of... Like, the economy in Sekiro is terrible. By the end of the game, I had 4,000 snap seeds. Because I just had nothing else to spend money on.
Oh. Save
I know
your
you can
time.
use it to power the send throw thing, but whatever. So like, yeah, I would have rather it was more.
So Richie, um, Demon Souls, I guess Dark Souls, Bloodborne is like Kingsfield, and then Sekiro is like Tenchu, and
Yeah.
then
Well,
Veracine
we're
is
pretty
like.
sure that Sekiro started off as Tenchu, and then when it got more like this is what we mean about like concept art, because like when there's like some from concept art for stuff that maybe isn't out yet that people have seen and like, ooh, what does it mean? But like there's Sekiro concept art that we know is Sekiro concept art and looks nothing like Sekiro because it's concept art. So it's like this guy, and like it might be a really early version of Wolf, but if it is, it doesn't really look like him. He's got two like human arms. He's got like different armor on, and he's like wandering away from this flock of crows. That's like you can see how like the mood is the same, but none of this actually shows up in the game. So like
Yeah, thank you, Richie. I want to post a playlist in the chat. And this is a Hollow Knight playlist that has like 4 or 5 podcasts in it so far. So anyone who's played Hollow Knight,
okay,
check it out. It's really good. We talk about it with various guests. They have lots of notes of Richie, some of them.
Yeah, you've really been leaning into those lately.
They help me edit so much. It's amazing.
I know. It's really clear that you're like, I don't have a transition.
Yeah.
For these two things, Richard's the transition person. Just get him to do it. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, sometimes it's hard to connect. Because the people we have on, we're super friendly with. Like, we're chill.
There are
so sometimes
friends. Like,
the conversation is, like, the info is there, but the conversation is just like, you gotta, like, okay, cut it, make it into a sentence, and now Richie note, boom, done, good.
Yeah. Like, outside of this, I talk to Dahlia, like, as much as I talk to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I talk to Dahlia, too. She thinks I'm the best. FYI.
You are.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, when is Bloodborne Kart coming? Who are we going to play as in Bloodborne Kart?
January 2032.
Right.
Thank you. Have I been wrong yet, Richie?
Well, I was thinking, like, earlier I was posting some Bloodborne model files that they wanted. So I was like, I mean, we have them as SMD files. You can pretty easily just convert those and insert them into another engine. So, like, Bloodborne Kart's totally doable.
Yeah.
You just gotta, like... Well, you know what I got really into the idea of? Paper Bloodborne, like Paper Mario.
Oh my god, that's so cute!
Because you don't notice it in-game, but, like, the really, really far away buildings in Yharnam are actually just, like, 2D cut-out buildings that you just are pasted in the distance, and they're so far away you don't notice it. And I'm like, if you actually get it really close to them, it looks really nice, because it's not just, like, a totally flat thing. They've actually, like, blurred the texture slightly, I think, to make it look further away.
Aww.
Like, oh, this is like a little papercraft Yharnam. And I'm really into, like, rebuilding, like, low poly areas as papercraft. Oh yeah. This is from King. Have you seen the PS1 Bloodborne demake? Yeah, I have. It looks incredible. That's exactly like.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of games, Richie, I'm gonna post a review we did. Do you know which review that is?
Well, it's the only review we've done, which is the Outer Worlds.
Yes.
And I had not played the Outer Worlds. I still haven't played the Outer Worlds, and I remember that the review largely becomes a discussion of what objective truth is.
Like,
Someone said in Dark Souls, I'm Gwendolyn and you're Shalquar.
Aww. Cool.
I have a little Gwendolyn sticker on my laptop.
You can do an awesome Gwendolyn impression too. It's like one of my favorites.
It takes a while to warm up for.
Yeah, you can't do it now.
It
'cause you
takes a while to
gotta-
warm up for, but when I did it, the critique was it was not masculine enough.
Really? Oh. No, I'm not saying it so you can do it now. I'm just saying it's it's really good. I really liked it.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll get my. I have a Gwendolyn sticker. This is by a friend of mine. Where is it? That's a Brutus. That's Izokan. That's Amelia. That's Amigo. There's Gwendolyn.
Oh, so cute.
This is a little chibi Gwendolyn by a friend of mine who is just called Drapote. You can find her on Redbubble at, I'll type it in when I put this back, Drappy Art. But, you know, she is, like, basically Drappy. If you search that on Redbubble, you can find she has a whole lot of, like, Souls chibis and stuff. And I have she's in Spain.
Oh.
And I have a Vicar Amelia keychain that she designed that is coming from Spain as we speak.
Very cute.
Jamie says, would Gwendolyn drive Aldrich as a vehicle?
Oh, it's like the mecha thing, you know, like Gwendolyn is like the drive inside, and Aldrich is the mecha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what am I thinking? I can't name what I'm thinking. It's one of those things. Like, which anime am I thinking?
The anime with the mecha, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should really come to me because there've been very few anime about mecha.
Hate you. Oh, Richie, before I forget, we're supposed to watch this month that thing somebody asked us.
The Evil Dead.
No, oh shit, that too.
Oh, not the thing we were paid to watch. The other thing that someone brought up.
No, the anime that somebody invited us to talk about, and it's like 12 episodes, and I think it's about mechas.
Oh, Gundam. One of the Gundam ones.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to get that done this month.
Okay. Well, you realize it's the 28th.
What?
It's like the end of February this month. This month for me has like 19 hours left in it.
We'll get to it then. No, I mean March. We have to do it in March, like.
Okay.
Okay. So, what else is new? How you been?
I'm just checking the chat for more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's asking if I think Vicar Amelia is adorable. She is. I have a Vicar Amelia shirt that's also by Drappy, but I'm not wearing it right now.
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
Yeah. Hello, Arthur. Someone keeps saying feet reveal at 100 people in chat. I have no idea how many people are in the chat
now. Holy crap.
Fuck.
Oh no. Quick, Richie, act smart.
We're act smart to attract people so we can do feet reveal.
No,
They're
because
not that interesting.
There's over 90 people who have to act smart.
Oh, there's 95 now. Hello, Velveteen.
No.
Quesador. Well.
Quickly, Richie, you're a doctor, professor of sociology, PhD. Say something smart.
Yeah, that's me.
Say something smart right now. Let's go. Oh, look at that Marxism. Isn't that a thing, huh? Man, that Stanford experiment, huh? The duality of men, huh? Oh, that Freud, huh? my god. For anybody wondering what they just witnessed, can you
That is my ringtone, and it is Sin. It is a weird noise she made, and I thought that would be a good ringtone. So it's my phone and my text message, and also my alarm.
Oh my god, Tutu just said, I used that ringtone for an alarm once, but it didn't wake me up enough.
It's my alarm. It wakes me up all the time.
Oh, yeah. Tutu, you need to use one of my Resident Evil 7 streams.
Apparently we're at 100 now.
Oh no. 100 people?
Yeah.
Act extra smart.
I don't fucking care. It's like, there's a foot. They're not that interesting.
There's a foot.
You walk on them.
I have a foot too. I don't know if I can reach it to the camera. Look, it's a sock.
Yeah. Wow, that's so hot. It's gyrated now. I don't understand the foot thing at all. Maybe it's because I walk everywhere. So my understanding of feet is that, like, they're mostly covered in lint and sweat and dirt, and they hurt a lot. Because I walk for like 90 minutes a day in terrible, cheap shoes, so...
Why don't you get better shoes?
I can't think of a... Because I have no fucking money. I can't think of a less attractive part of the body, frankly.
Oh my god!
Maybe, like, underneath the fingernail is probably worse, because there's all this, like...
You heard it here, folks! Richie has no money. Patreon.com so Richie can get some fucking shoes. I don't understand how this is still an issue. You were supposed to get shoes, Richie.
Shoes are expensive.
Ooh, child. Did you spend your shoe budget on LEDs again?
LEDs aren't that expensive.
You have like 1,000 of them, though.
Yeah. Someone's asking, can I supply them with images of the rifles wielded by the huntsman in the file viewer? I think if you go to the Bloodborne wiki, you'll be able to see them.
Specifically Bloodborne-wiki.
The Bloodborne-wiki, the good one.
The link, yeah, the good
one. What are our thoughts on the suspicious number of barefoot women in Miyazaki games?
Sorry, say that again?
What are our thoughts on the barefoot women in Miyazaki games?
Have you seen the development? They forgot to give them shoes.
I think it's like... I don't know if it's true in every single instance they do it, but like it's a purity thing. The notion of having no shoes, like you're sort of barefoot.
And Ariandel has shoes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And the nun doesn't have shoes. So shoes are a sin, or what are they trying to say here?
No, I mean it's like a Japanese thing that like you don't have shoes on, so like you're in a very pure place, so it doesn't matter if you like touch the ground. So like priestesses and things are barefoot. You bringing up the nun's shoes, that's its own story.
Does she have shoes? I don't remember.
Have you fucking seen them?
The nun? Adela? Adela has shoes?
Like, she's got like 4-inch stilettos on. I'm not joking. The black and white church sets on a female character. It's straight up like, this is kinky. This is not practical. Why are you wearing these? Impostia Sefka doesn't have them.
But that's because she's in her own house. Or whatever. Yosefka's house.
Okay, so there is a unique version of the white church set that has no shoes. And it's only worn by Impostia Sefka and the the white doctor in the research hall, pre-research hall area. She has those shoes on, but everyone else they have like, if you see them, it is like massive like stiletto heels. It's not like a bit of a heel. It's not even like they're lift. It's like straight point down. Like it is like, I don't know who was designing this. I don't know what they were trying to get across to us, but like, if you want to get a good look, put it on when you take the Canehurst carriage, because you get a close up of that foot coming down, and I don't know why they designed it that way. They really don't. Yeah, exactly. It's Bayonetta. Yes, they have Bayonetta heels on. Oh no! Now we're getting all this Bayonetta discourse in the chat. Quickly, talk about pure things. Baby Yoda, bring back Baby Yoda.
Okay. Oh, hello, I am Baby Yoda.
Oh, look, a Disney-approved thing. Nothing sexy is gonna happen.
This is so good. I can't. Oh, so look, and it's okay because he regains his shape, so he can just look, nothing.
So Yoda has no feet, so checkmate. Are we going to do Ari Village? Yes. Sin did the demo.
I did the demo and I love it.
Sin did the demo.
I've been playing Resident Evil 7 and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you suggested that we could do a little couples cosplay thing for it, and you have to guess who is who. For reference, what you're looking at here is our IRL height difference. Oh, hang on. What is the cutest and most wholesome thing in Soulsborne, Sin?
Oof. Oh, in all of Soulsborne? Richie, go first. I don't know.
Maybe like... Maybe like Quelaag defending her sister. That's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you talk to her and she thinks you're Quelaag because she's blind.
Aww.
Yeah.
Maybe like Gwen throwing himself on the first flame for his family. It's very wholesome and cute.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Patches saving Grey Rat. That's a good one. That's from Arthur.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Baby Yoda in any of the...
I'm sure he'll be modded in because he's everywhere else.
Good. Yeah, let's see.
I was wandering around a closed shopping mall today, and I still managed to see Baby Yoda. Oh, Megadeus' Elden Ring update. Like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Elden Ring stuff soon. Like, well, you've been saying that all the time. No, like, I'm pretty sure soon, because, like, stuff is leaking out about Elden Ring. So it's at a stage where, like, this stuff is so disseminated at this point that, like, it must be, like, soon that there's this much stuff going around. So either, like, a ton of shit is going to leak and someone's going to go, fuck it, here it is. Or, Bamco are going to formally announce something.
Well, Elden
But,
Ring
like,
is coming out in March 2022, like I predicted, so...
But what I mean is, like, you know, the concept art that leaked, right, of the
Yes.
snake thing.
Yeah.
That was because, like, a pretty big deal Chinese gaming channel just thought it was fine to show that off. So it wasn't like, we've got this stuff, don't tell anyone. Here's the secret files, don't tell anyone we had this conversation, blah blah. It was just like, oh, alright, here's some Elden Ring stuff. So it's like, and also, like, the freaking NDA on the trailer has now expired and someone is happy to talk about it. But, like, it must be getting close to, if we're at the stage where just, like, someone is just casually revealing it and not realizing they shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. And if you like Elden Ring, we have a playlist.
Well, they don't like it's not out yet.
We have a playlist with a couple of things in it.
If you hypothetically like Elden Ring, if you think that... If you like a man going, oh!
Thank you, Richie.
Brendan O'Hara is asking if we've seen Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I haven't seen it, but I have. I think it's like one random bit of one season is like there somewhere.
Aww.
I've mentioned this before, but like I used to live near a bootleg place, and you couldn't really just buy one thing. You had to buy like 5 things at a time. It was like 5 for $5. So I just have all these things where it's like I have the middle 2 discs of something because I had to.
Thank you, Richie.
Yeah.
Richie, but if people want to watch something that's already out, that we did with Philomena.
Oh, I Hunt.
I hunt. Yeah. I'm gonna paste it in the chat.
I was still thinking about Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, this is better.
Oh, well, yeah, it is. I mean, it exists. It's out.
Yeah. It's a fun podcast. And that podcast was episode 215 of the Snack Covenant.
Wow.
Wow. And we're already on 230. Wow. How time flies.
Okay. King wants to know, do we watch Mordecai's Elden Ring updates? Yes, I do.
Not every day.
And every time it's not exactly 19 seconds, I'm like, ooh. What's happened? The answer is nothing. One time it was something, yes. Okay, I have a question from the Chaos God Nurgle in chat. And I'll answer even though I have a bunch of Zinch stuff. And
Yes.
that is...
Yes.
Out of all the characters in the Souls games, who is the best waifu and husbando?
Gascoigne and Maria.
Are you doing that thing with your mouth that you do sometimes when you don't think you're on camera?
You're doing the thing with your mouth.
I'm talking.
Decking.
This is the thing you do when you don't realize you're on camera. It's like go... Like, just to see if, idly if you can fold your upper lip in half.
What is your favorite husband or waifu?
Oh, there's so many. Maybe, like... I think the waifu... It has to be Cos. Husbando... Maybe Yorm.
Yorm?
Yeah.
Why?
She just seems to have other people's interests at
You
heart.
know
He seems like
why? You know why? Oh my god, it's Richie, because Yorm is sitting on a really big warp chair. He's extra cool. This is why.
Yeah.
Whose interest does he have in heart? Didn't he burn a village?
No, he's like, I gotta, these people treated me like shit, but I gotta defend them all. Gotta take the profane flame.
But didn't the village burn in the end, so he didn't defend anyone?
No, he did it. He did it after. Well, this is the argument that we had because the game is a mess trying to explain why. But like, it looks like he did it because the village was burning. He was trying to like stop it.
But he didn't stop it.
It was like well, bits of it is still there.
Maybe he just made it worse. Maybe he tried to put out fire with more fire. And it's like, Yorm, what are you doing? Bro, go back in your warp chair, bro.
If there's enough fire, it will eventually burn up all the oxygen and there won't be any more fire.
Yorm the scientist! Who's your consultant? Lawrence?
I can fucking see Lawrence doing that. Like, the healing church falls apart, so he disappears. He's like, yeah, I'm working as a consultant now. Under a different name.
Oh my god, you know how some items in Dark Souls 3, I think, say how, like, Lorien, Lothric, whatever, were, like, guided by some unnamed scholar? Lawrence.
Oh. Yeah.
There you go. I heard that Lawrence was hired by Google to work on Stadia. Thank you, Tutu. Okay, we should probably start wrapping it up. It's been like, holy moly, 2 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours,
Wow. Intense. Very intense. Yorma's giant. Why is he called Yorm the Giant?
True.
Have you guys ever met IRL? No.
No. I mean, I feel like we have because we talk all day.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah, like one day we will.
Definitely.
I'm not sure who will go where.
We'll see.
Yeah. I was like, we can't really go anywhere right now because of
Yeah.
the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, one question. What's the lore on the wooden shield?
Okay, we didn't. No, we can't. Okay. Why we can't talk about the wooden shield right now? Because
Should I go into why?
Do you know why?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So, people might be aware that we recorded a podcast that was over an hour long on the lock shield. And, that was one of the early ones where I was saying no one will listen to this, it's awful. And Sin overruled me. And she turned out to be correct, it was quite good. People liked it. And it was, I think that was the point at which a lot of people started messaging me saying, like, oh, you two have really good rapport, you should, like, just talk more. Because, that was one of the ones where prior to it we'd been just question, answer. And, Sin has decided that, like, I don't know exactly for what, but for some big anniversary thing, we have to talk about the wooden shield as, like, the follow-up.
What if episode 169 is the wooden shield? Because we haven't. What?
I don't know.
Because we haven't recorded 169 yet, even though we're at 230.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't come up with a topic. Maybe that could actually be the topic.
Okay.
Okay, we could do that. Maybe not. Right now we're focusing more on, like, Hollow Knight and stuff. So maybe, like, in a month or two?
Oh, I think this is Kaichos. What is the thing with the Windows logo behind Richie? It looks amazing. That's what I was wearing in last week's AMA.
Yeah.
And people really liked it, but I didn't want to wear the same thing twice in a row, so I just thought I'd hang it up behind me. It's just on my exercise bike.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The shirt is there for continuity.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're not answering Hollow Knight questions in this stream specifically because people asked us not to do spoilers.
Also, I don't even know what kind of bug we are in Hollow Knight. We're just a bug. I mean, we're a humanoid bug that can hold things, so probably not a real bug.
Like a fantasy bug.
Well, they do have, like, they specify this kind of different tribes. Like, there's, like, the wasps and the hive and the, like,
what
the
is
weevils
that bug? Well, wait, we have, like, horns, yeah?
Yeah.
And all the different vessels that you see around, they actually have different shape of heads.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess the horns don't really mean...
Well, there's an NPC who makes those masks.
But is this our mask or is this our face?
It's a very interesting philosophical question.
So I guess we, are we even, I guess we have to be a bug, but then again, we were created from, like...
Oh, no spoilers anyway.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry! Oh, Jesus, yes, I apologize, I forgot. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no spoilers. Well, before we sign off, are there any more, I guess, more general questions other than specific Bloodborne and Dark Souls one that will take 4 hours to answer? Are there any just like... You know, you can ask me how I'm doing today. That's also fine.
Is there a connection between the Locust Preacher quotes about feasting and Aldrich eating people?
No.
That would seem very definitive.
It's definitive. We're doing definitive podcasts now. So.
I like the locusts. I think they're cool.
Well, I think it's cool how they, like, stab you, like, with a fork and then try to eat you.
Have we talked about the use of the locusts? And sort of, like, what they're kind of...
Yeah, we did on Dark Souls podcasts, but you can tell
You want to talk about it again now?
Okay.
Because, like, they're locusts and they're likened to cicadas. If you look at them, like, the ones that are summoning the angels. They're straight up, like, broken open, and you see, the locust sort of poking out the top, going like this. And if you've ever seen a cicada molting, it looks exactly like that. And the idea... I mean, I'm getting, like... This is one of those things where I don't know if this is what they were thinking, but if they was, it wouldn't surprise me. Which is that cicadas, they appear when the seasons change. So it's almost like... The Age of Fire is ending, so in a sort of grand cosmic sense, the season is changing. And that is heralded by the arrival of these cicada things. That are like... And, like, they burrow into the ground like cicadas do. And they're talking and talking and talking the same way that there's cicada song in the background. So, like, if you... This is one of those it's quite funny if you notice it, but if you hang around, there's little tiny ones that are in the ground.
Yeah, they're cute.
They talk, and they have a little pitched up voice, and it's like, "Clean up the box. It's a feast pigeon. It's a feast pigeon."
Very adorable.
I think the idea of, like, these things are molting and changing at the end of, like, the Age of Fire is probably an intentional thing. Maybe not literally, like, a direct reference to cicadas, but the idea that, like, the season is changing, time is changing, climate is changing, and these things are starting to, like, pop out of the ground and pupate as the world sort of moves on.
Thank you, Richie.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna...
question from Aki.
Yes.
What if when you fight on horseback in Elden Ring, the horse does a combat roll when you're riding it?
That's beautiful. They should. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Mm, mm.
Oh my god, I
Also,
can't...
we don't know if it's a horse.
Yeah,
Could be you could just mounted combat. Could ride anything.
yeah.
This is the art contest that Vardy missed out on doing, which was come up with a mount for Elden Ring.
Well, it's not late.
Yeah, you know, you could ride a bug in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It's looking around my room. Like there's this. You could ride a snail. You could ride Fluttershy. You could ride a boglin. You could ride a Transformers Pretender. You could ride a pig. You could ride a penguin.
Oh, the pigs from Bloodborne.
Yeah, yeah.
But before they were like infected or whatever, like nice,
Yeah.
cute pigs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like muscular, like, hello, I'm a muscular pig. Come on, get on, bro. I'll get you there. Don't worry. Yeah.
Who is that?
It was a pig walking, because this is the front paws. And it's like, hey, bro, I'm a muscular pig. I'll get you wherever you want to go. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, it's a very confident pig because, like, they're very good at their job of getting you from one place to another. Getting you from one place to another without you getting hurt, because they're big, muscular pigs. It's like, nobody's going to mess with me.
Yeah.
This is my neighborhood. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
You know why I have a bunch of orcs riding pigs?
There we go.
Yeah.
Brigitte says, please now do a feminine pig. But that was my feminine pig.
My pig has sunglasses and bunny ears.
Tall. Okay. Oh yeah, can you show? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cute.
This pig is actually my cousin Victoria won that pig at a like a fair sort of thing we had, but she didn't want to have to take it back with her because it's quite large, so she's just like, "Yeah, you keep it."
Aww.
Okay.
Wait,
do
Richie,
I like
no.
Warhammer?
No! Don't answer that. Okay, so the question by King is, do you like Warhammer, Richie? And people in chat should answer that. So whether you remember a cultist or an enabler, you should know the answer to this.
But no, but it's more complicated than that.
Well, the base is not complicated. It's a yes or no question.
Well, I like fantasy war games, and Warhammer is like the most popular one. I have a bunch of Warhammer stuff, but Warhammer is very, very expensive. So, like, I don't really play Warhammer because of the cost increase. But, like, there are games where I use Warhammer models in them because there are situations where, like, that is the best way to go about it.
The answer is yes, Richie likes Warhammer. Oh my god, sometimes working with Richie, it's like, yes or no, and it's it doesn't actually answer the question. Whew.
Do I like Warhammer lore, Sin? Can you answer that question?
Yes.
It's yes or no.
Yes, you do.
I don't know anything that's happened since,
yeah, but you do like the lore. You don't have to know everything. Like, if you were following the lore for a certain period of time, and you like it, so the answer is yes.
I like the older, like, 2000 AD inflected Michael Moorcock weird stuff, and then I know it sort of got a little more straightforward as it went on, and then they reset the setting a bunch of times, and I don't really know what happened after that. But yeah, like I mostly don't have I have a lot of Mantic stuff. I have a lot of the D&D miniatures. I have a D&D miniature over here, actually. Oh, I have two. All right, here we go. So, like, here's a D&D. She's just showing up very well. That's a D&D female dwarf called Yahild Stoneforge. I have about 60 of her, and this is actually quite valuable. This is a very old. God, nothing's showing up. Sorry. That's better. This is a very old Warhammer Chaos Dwarf from God, like about 1994 5, I think.
That's cute.
That like they're worth quite a bit now, and this was my character I played in Warhammer Quest, and I still have him.
It's very cute.
Hang on, here's I've talked about this before, but like this is her sword's wilted. This is like they sell D&D miniatures and they sell them in big packs. You get a bunch of them. And then what happened was like there's eBay stores that buy the packs and then sell them individually. And for some reason, that particular dwarf was very, very unpopular.
Aww.
I know. And then she was on sale for like $1 for each, and I was like, so I actually bought like 60 of her.
So that was so
And
good. $1 each, so I thought, and I bought 60.
well, that's pretty good if you're playing a war game. Like 60 is a pretty.
And then
Well, that's the thing, because like at some point I'm gonna make an entirely like some sort of weird Amazon dwarf army using Yahild's Stoneforge and just like swapping their heads and arms around to give her different equipment to make them look distinct. But one day I'll do that. Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, we're gonna start wrapping up, and before we go, thank you so much everyone for coming. Thank you for toughing it out. I'm gonna post a couple of things in the chat. So, as you know, Locations of Bloodborne and Enemies of Bloodborne are a primarily patron series, but some episodes end up on YouTube because they're either too good for patron or they have snack covenant lore. So What, Where, Why episode 18 is not on YouTube, so I'm gonna post it so everyone can see. So bookmark it and you can watch it later. And What, Where, Why episode 14, that's actually an iconic episode. DBMSL.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm posting it now. So bookmark it so you can watch it as well, because they're unlisted, but if you bookmark it, you can watch it. Yeah. If you want, like, I think everybody knows by now, if you want more content, patreon.com/sinclairlore for $2, you get a bunch of content. And okay, we have a Discord. That's another thing that sometimes people don't know.
Yeah.
Let me go find the Discord link. Oh, Alhazred, thank you. So sweet. Where is Discord link?
Oh, Harvey's here. Hi.
Harvey! How's it
You're
going?
back. Hi.
Did you all hear that the purse was taken to jail? They were charged as an accessory.
Well,
Thank you, Harvey.
If one thing on these streams that's showing up a lot, it's accessories. Getting worse and worse.
Oh. So this is the Discord link for anyone who's interested. I don't know, we have Twitter, but we don't post
use
much. What else?
Twitter, you either have to post nothing or post the same take hundreds of times every day.
I just retweet stuff mostly, like, oh look, Baby Yoda. Retweet.
You have 2 Baby Yodas now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The next one has to be even bigger. What else? I guess. Oh, Richie, don't forget to do those notes that I asked you to do.
Yeah.
For the next podcast.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's joining the server, don't forget to read the rules. Don't forget to check out the vignette stuff. You can post a little about yourself if you want. Don't be shy. Say hi.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So far you have to do like 2 or 3 notes. If you scroll up, you'll see them. Actually, just 2. One of them is by Nostradamus, and the other one is by Richie.
They're separate people.
Yes. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Richie, do
Yeah,
the
okay.
outro.
Okay, so there's one more thing I want to say before we do the outro.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a question from Taylor, which is, if you could answer for each other, if the blood moon rises, what transformation would you undergo? Sin would become Baby Yoda. Is that right? And Sin, I think Sin knows what she wants to say, but we won't say it. So we'll see you next time.
Okay. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.